My guest tonight was on Australian Idol back in the day. She was a breakout star on RuPaul's Drag Race, and earlier this month, OMG, this fully happened to her.
I can now reveal the housemate with the most votes, and the winner of Celebrity Big Brother is...
Come on, hurry up!
Courtney! Courtney, you are our winner!
She's back in Australia touring her show Under the Covers, and to celebrate Mardi Gras 2018, would you please welcome the one and only Courtney! Yes, Queen!
I've got that audio loop in my white noise machine to help me go to sleep at night. The winner is Courtney.
You just listen to that? The gap between it was like 30 seconds or something.
I know.
Insane. But congratulations.
Thank you.
It was down to you and Anne Widdecombe. That's what we
Yes.
saw in that clip. Now, she is like the British Bronwyn Bishop. She's a Conservative politician. She's opposed every single equality measure for LGBT people during her 23 years in office.
Yeah.
She opposes trans rights, thinks you can cure homosexuality. How did you get on with Anne?
Oh, we were best mates.
Best mates.
No, it was really fascinating because Anne was kind of like your bigoted grandma at Christmas dinner that you knew you had to get along with because you were going to be living with her for a month, and there was some conversations, but the cool thing was that we actually had conversations. Nobody resorted to calling anybody names. Oh, she did call me a tart and a chav and a tramp.
Apart from that, though?
Apart from that, we had a lovely time.
Did she change? Did her perception of queer people change at all after meeting you?
You know what? She has been in Parliament for 23 years. She had been. She knows how to make her arguments. She knows what her points are, and she sticks to them. So any conversation that we had didn't really go very far. But what I did try and keep in my mind is that whilst Anne's opinions wouldn't change, perhaps there were some people watching at home who'd hear two different sides of a story and make up their own mind.
There's another amazing interaction you had with India Willoughby. She's a transgender newsreader, first transgender person to read the news in the UK. Now, she considers drag to be a form of blackface, basically, and she's not quite a fan of the whole drag situation. How did you go talking to India and confronting that issue?
Well, yeah, India's got a dragophobia, which is interesting. You know, the thing for India is that so I put one of the straight housemates in drag, Andrew, my bromance. I digress. And it was interesting because he came out and she froze.
He came out? Wow!
No.
See, it works, everybody!
He came out in drag. I put him in drag, and India, just sat there sort of frozen and had glasses on, little tears streamed down her cheeks. And I understood her struggle because she saw a room full of people laughing at a man dressed as a woman. And, you know, there is some confusion between drag and trans, and it was challenging, but I was just glad that I was there as an ally for India to sort of explain some of the nuances of gender and sexuality to some of the housemates. And like, talking about, you know, people in the public eye in 2018, and I thought, oh, they'll get it. And they didn't, but they were willing to listen and willing to learn. So that was nice.
Well, different parts of the world are at different stages. You've spent a lot of time in the UK and the US, and you sort of said Australia is still really dragging behind on the conversation around gender and fluidity and the spectrum of gender.
Yeah.
How bad is it exactly as someone who identifies as gender fluid or gender queer and is constantly leading these conversations? How far have we got to go?
You know what? It's interesting. I love Australia. It's a wonderful place. But going to the UK and just seeing, like, we're flat out having a person of colour on Ramsay Street, let alone having, like, an inclusive and diverse conversation about gender. And in the UK, they have got, like, for decades, there has been gender diversity and sexuality diversity and racial diversity in pop culture, and that just filters through into the zeitgeist. And I think that, you know, I love Mardi Gras because it is that time of year where everybody leans in a little bit more and gets a bit interested in all things LGBTQIQA. It's nice to sort of have that, but I think the conversation needs to continue beyond that and start having, you know, more nuanced conversations and more celebration of gender and sexuality diversity in our pop culture.
Well, great response.
Thank you.
What is your go-to Mardi Gras memory?
Oh, wow. Well, my first Mardi Gras, it was in the year 2001. I decided that I was going to go in drag that day. And like all good drag costumes, it came together with a hot glue gun and a trip to Lincraft. I bought a nude bra, a nude G-string and some leaves and some glitter, like plastic leaves, not real ones, because they would have been wilted by midnight. And I hot glued them to my bra, and I went as Eve, in case you're wondering. But what happened is at some point during the night, which became the morning, the sun was up, and I found myself, they have these big fences. It's over at what was Fox Studios, where families would come by day to go on rides and see things that were like the two attractions that were at Fox Studios, let's face it. But I found myself somehow like not on the Mardi Gras side of the fence, but on the other side of the fence.
The family side?
The family side.
Oh,
I've got this
no.
giant hair on with these 3 leaves barely clinging to my body with the hot glue, because let me tell you, it gets hot in the RHI.
Oh, girl.
And
I know.
and I was like trying to convince the security guard, I'm like, I'm meant to be on that side of the fence. And he was like, where's your ticket? And I was like, this is my ticket! Do you think I just turned up to Fox Studios in a new G-string and 3 leaves?
Yeah.
Oh, but I eventually got back on the other side. One of my friends took a little photograph on his, disposable camera, because that's what we used back then, of me like climbing under the fence.
Yes.
Thankfully, I'm svelte and thin.
Right, so then had a drug-fueled orgy, I assume. Now, you're going to be back a bit
Always.
later on the show to perform for us. Thank you very much for being here. But for now, please thank her, Courtney Act, everyone.
Yay!